Hello students. So in this class, we'll start with the next model, that is ratio and proportion. Ratio and proportion. So this topic, second model, is also very important from the point of examination, because one question will come on ratio and proportion. So here first we'll see the ratio and then we'll start with the proportion. So first you should try to understand what is exactly meant by what it is ratio. So ratio means what? Very simple it is. The relation between the two quantities of the same kind expressed as the number of times one quantity is greater or less than the other is known as what? Ratio. Clear? Ratio means what? The relation between the two quantities of the same kind expressed as the number of times one quantity is greater or less than the other is known as what? Ratio. Or to know how many times one quantity is greater or less than the other, the ratio is used. Just to clear the meaning of ratio, we can have an example. Suppose two persons are there, A and B. Suppose they have given you A's income is said is rupees 4,000 and B's income is said is rupees 2,000. So whenever we want to compare any two things, we make use of what it is ratio. So here I want to compare the income of A with whom it is B, right? So to compare, what, as I said, we make use of it is ratio. So if I ask you to find out, or if I say from this, okay, I have given the income of A and B. So what do you understand here? So from this, what we understand, that is A's income is more than whose income? B's income. A is getting, means from this what statement we draw, what conclusion we can draw, that A's income is more than B's income. Or what we can say, B's income is less than A's income. So to know this, to compare, we make use of what it is ratio. So if I ask you to find out the ratio, so how we express? It is written as it is 4,000 is to what it is 2,000. Or while finding the ratio, what we do, we cancel the common thing. So what common we find here? Here common 3 zeros get cancelled. So my ratio comes to is 4 is to 2. Or further, if these numbers are divisible, we divide. So further these numbers are divisible by how much? It is 2. So it is 2 2s are 4 and 2 1s are 2. Further these two numbers are not divisible. So my ratio remains as it is 2 is to 1. So 2 is to 1 is called as the ratio of income of whom it is A and B. So from this ratio, what we understand, that A's income is how much? 2 times and B's income is how much? It is 1 time. So always remember, ratio always indicates what it is, number of times. So A gets 2 times the income and B gets 1 time the income. So from this what we understand, that A income is twice, double than that of whom it is B. So to know this or to compare this, we make use of what it is ratio. So ratio means what? The relation. It is the relation between the two quantities of the same kind. Both the kind should be of same nature. They should not be of different nature. If these two things are of different nature, then we cannot calculate the ratio. Then it is not called as a correct ratio. For example, if you want to compare, if you go to compare 4,000 rupees, if you go to compare 4,000 rupees with, it is said is 24 apples. So we cannot call it as a ratio. We cannot compare here rupees with what it is apples. So both the things should be of same kind, of same nature. Then only we can calculate the ratio, or then only we can compare those two things. So we cannot compare here 4,000 with whom it is 24 apples. So it goes wrong. So what the ratio says, the relation between the two quantities of the same kind expressed as the number of times one quantity is greater or less than the other is known as what it is ratio. So I hope it is clear to you all what do you mean by what it is ratio. So far as ratio is concerned, so every ratio has how many terms? 2 terms. Every ratio has how many terms? 2 terms. first term is called as what? Antecedent, and second term is called as what? It is consequent. So here I have written the ratio as it is what? 2:1. We have got the ratio as it is 2:1. So here the first term, my first term is 2, my second term is what? It is 1. So this first term 2 is called as what? It is antecedent. Antecedent, and second term is called as what? It is consequent. Clear? So like this, every ratio has how many terms? 2 terms. First term is called as the antecedent, second one is called as the consequent, and the value of any ratio doesn't change if it is multiplied or divided by the same number. Whatever may be the ratio, so if you divide that ratio by the same number, or if you multiply the same ratio by some one fixed number, the value of that ratio doesn't change. Just to make it understand, right? So let's have an example. So suppose if the ratio is 4:6, suppose the ratio is 4:6, so this 4:6 can also be written as what? It is 2:3, or 2:3 can also be written as it is 12:18 when the first ratio is divided by 2, or second ratio is multiplied by what? It is 6. So if you divide the first ratio by it is 2, right? So I get new ratio as 2:3. That is 2 2s are 4, 2 3s are 6. I get new ratio 2:3, or whatever ratio I have got 2:3 to both the terms. If you multiply by one fixed number, that is 6, I am multiplying this ratio by this 6. So if you multiply these both the terms by the fixed number 6, so we get new ratio as 12:18, right? So the value of these three ratios doesn't change, it remains constant. Why? Because while finding this ratio, both the terms I have divided by one fixed number. How much it is? 2. So the value of 4:6 is equal to what? It is 2:3, or 2:3 can be written as it is 12:18. Just to make it more clear, right? Suppose there are two partners, A and B. Suppose two partners are there, A and B, and suppose they have earned a profit of rupees, how much it is? 1000. They have earned a profit of rupees 1000. So I want to distribute this 1000 rupees profit between A and B in which ratio? In 4:6 ratio. So if you distribute this 1000 rupees between A and B in the ratio of 4:6, so the distribution comes to, so A is a share. How you find A share? So you have to take this profit 1000 rupees and this is multiplied by A is a share. So what is A is a share here? 4 divided by total of these two terms, how much it is? 10. So if you divide this, so my A's share comes to rupees, how much? It is 400. Clear? Like that, you calculate whose? B's share. So B's share will be how much? It is B's share will be, take the profit, it is 1000. This is multiplied by B share is how much? It is 6 divided by what? It is 10. So if we divide this, so it comes to how much? It is 600. Means if you distribute this 1000 rupees profit between A and B, the distribution comes to 400 and 600. Now instead of distributing in the ratio of it is 4:6, suppose this ratio, if I divide by one common number, it is to both numbers, both terms are divisible by 2. If we divide by 2 to both the terms, I get new ratio. How much it is? 2:3. So instead of distributing in the ratio of 4:6, same profit, if you distribute in the ratio of it is 2:3, also the distribution has to come same. So let's see whether it comes same or not, right? So suppose I want to calculate it is A's share. So A's share will be equal to, take the profit 1000, right? This is multiplied by, now we are going to distribute in the ratio of 2:3. So this is multiplied by, according to this ratio, A share will be how much? It is 2 times. It is 2 divided by what? It is 5. Make the total of these two terms and write at the denominator place. So it comes to 2 by 5. Or if you divide this, so this 5 ones, that is 5 2s are. So 200 into 2 you will get how much? It is 400. Right? Or if you calculate it is B share, so B share will be how much? Take the profit, it is 1000 is multiplied by, B's share is how much here? It is 3 times. This it is multiplied by what? It is 3 divided by 5, or it is 5 ones, it is 5 2s are. So 200 into 3 comes to how much? It is 600 rupees. So if you see here, if you observe here, So what you can say here, what you can see here, if you distribute this profit in the ratio of 4:6, the distribution comes to 400 and 600. Or the same ratio, if you divide by a common number, it is 2. So we get a new ratio as 2:3. And in this ratio, if you distribute the same profit, right, the distribution comes to what? It is 400 and 600, right? Or thus now we have obtained the ratio as 2:3. Now this ratio to this ratio, if you multiply by it is 6. Both the terms should be multiplied by the same number. So 6 2s it is 12 and 6 3s it is 18. The ratio comes to this 12:18. So in this ratio, even if you distribute 1000 rupees, the distribution comes to same only. It is how much? 400 and what it is? 600. Right? You can distribute and you can check it. Right? So from this, what we understand, the value of any ratio doesn't change if it is multiplied or divided by the same number. Or you can see here, if you distribute in the ratio of 12:18, so if you calculate A's share, so A's share will be, take the profit, it is 1000, right, and to this you multiply by this A's share. So A's share is how much? It is 12 times. So it is 12 is divided by total of these two is how much? It is 30. So this 110 get cancelled. So 3 ones are 3 fours are. So A's share comes to how much? It is 4 into 100 is how much? 400. So distribution comes to how much? 400. Like that, if you want to calculate B's share, so B share will be, take the profit, it is 1000. This is multiplied by B share is how much? It is 18 divided by it is 30 total. So this 110 get cancelled. 3 ones are 3, 6 are 18. Or it is B share will be, it is 6 into 100. It comes to how much? It is 600. So like this, you will come to know the value of any ratio doesn't change if it is multiplied or divided by the same number. But both the terms should be multiplied or divided by the same number. Then only the value of that ratio doesn't change. Otherwise, it will change. If you divide the first term by it is 2 and second if you divide by it is 3, another number, definitely the value of that ratio is going to change, right? So this is the fundamental rule of what it is, the ratio, which you have to remember in brief. So this is, I have given the brief idea about what it is, the ratio. So you should try to understand exactly what is meant by what it is ratio, because the question will come in the exam. For how many marks? For 2 marks in section A. What do you mean by ratio, or what is ratio? So you must be able to write in 2 sentences, which will give you how many marks? 2 marks. Clear? So I hope it is clear to you all what do you mean by what it is ratio. So based on this basic, you should try to solve the problems on what it is ratio. So in the next class, I will come with some problems on what it is ratio. Thank you.